beautiful friends. Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast. I'm Amy Sikarskie, and today I have just completed an amazing conversation with Julie Jancius, author of Angels and Awakening and the host of Angels and Awakening podcast. Julie is amazing, and our conversation, oh my goodness, I could feel the love, the support, and the divine light, the true vibration of our guides and angels just surrounding and flowing through. And I really hope that you enjoy this conversation and find aspects that support you. So maybe you've had a question or a little bit of this desire to feel some inspiration, and I hope that you'll find it through our conversation today. So, a little bit about Julie. Julie is amazing, by the way. So, let's just start there. We could start there, we could end there. Julie is amazing. But Julie is known as the angel medium, and she is the wife to Blake and the mama of their beautiful daughter, and they have two fur babies. So, what I love about Julie is she is so authentic and just so pure and a beautiful, beautiful human. Or you could also say, I feel earth angel. Julie's been talking to angels her whole life. And if you resonate with angels and spirit guides and support in spirit from the other side, I really feel that you'll find a lot of support and aha moments through connecting in with her and her work. And her beautiful new book, Angels and Awakening, is just a fabulous book, which we will delve in a little bit into today. Since elementary school, Julie has known that she wants to work for God. She's a soul who's here to teach, spread hope, and help you get back on your path. And she says, "My friend, this life is not what you think it is, and you are not who you think you are. You are so much more, and you have a big, big purpose here. God doesn't want you to live from the vibrations of sadness, fear, loneliness, anxiety, or stress." And I can resonate with that so much. And Julie's messages really help you to find your way back to joy and that oneness vibration. So, Julie is here to teach you how to live from that vibration of love, joy, peace, bliss, ease, and grace. And she calls it living in oneness. And she never wants you to take her word for it. Julie wants you to experience what it's like to live in oneness, the highest vibration that is, for yourself. So I welcome you to today's podcast, beautiful friends, and I do hope that you find some inspiration, comfort, joy, and peace. So, hi, everybody. Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast. I'm your host, Amy Sikarskie, and I am beyond excited to share with you a very special guest and an amazing conversation I just can feel that we're going to have today with Julie Jancius. And it has been such a gift to connect, and I know we've been speaking for a few days about, arranging our schedules to get together. And every step of the way, I have felt the angels around. And even today, this morning getting ready, I can feel this beautiful, calming presence come around and be with us. And I just wanted to share my gratitude and thank you so much for being here. And I've been reading your book. I'm just going to start right here. I've been reading your book. And so many beautiful messages that have been coming through, I deeply, deeply resonate with. And then they inspire another message or another thought to come in. And so I just wanted to share that this morning I was reading a little bit again, and I'm thinking to myself, whoa, I have like a whole list of questions. If you were sitting right there with me, I had so many things I wanted to share back with you. And then I thought, gosh, can I get through all of this today? That's when the angels stepped in and they're like, don't even try to put a structure to today. Just flow with it because it's all divinely guided. And as we're just connecting right now, I can feel that vibration come in, this strong, beautiful peace. And one of the things you shared was that the angels really don't have names in English like, how we would speak. It is that essence of vibration.
Mhm.
And there's so much more to messages and when we can feel it. And so I just want to start right off with that. That's how I'm feeling. I can sense them here. And I just want to thank you and and see if you had anything to share about your morning and when you go to work in service, the support that you feel come in for you. What is
Mm.
that like? Because you're always like in such a beautiful space of service.
Oh, thank you so much, Amy. Thank you for the blessing of just having me on your beautiful show. And thank you so much for the work that you do for the world. I think it's incredible. When I am working with the angels, you can, just like you said, feel their presence surround you, almost like a warm hug. So, if anybody listening is feeling that right now, that's your angels kind of tapping you, getting a hold of your consciousness, and helping you to feel their presence and what that really feels like as it surrounds you. Um, there's different types of philosophy of thought on meditation. There are some people who in today's society believe that we just need to be meditating, 20 minutes in the morning or 20 minutes a day or longer. And then there's another philosophy of thought, which is no, when you're in a meditative state, when you're in connection with God, universe, source, the other side. You're in what I call oneness energy. And there's actually scientists that I've gotten to talk to who have proven this, that you cannot make that connection with the other side without being in this energy. And I feel this energy when I'm in meditation. I feel this energy when I'm in prayer. I feel this energy when I'm in automatic writing. And what it is you're raising your vibrational frequency to your soul self. And because your soul self is one droplet in the whole ocean that is God, universe, source, your soul's energy is the same frequency as God's energy. And so when you tune up into that, you start to feel the presence of your entire spirit team around you. And I don't think that that's an energy that you just want to live in 20 minutes a day. It's a frequency that you want to learn how to turn on and turn off, kind of like a light switch, so that you can learn how to turn it on and live in it all day long.
Oh, absolutely. I love that you share that. And I love that you're starting off with the oneness energy because that was a huge talking point that I wanted to delve into. Mostly just to give you praise because I absolutely love how you bring that concept, or it's actually an aspect of our life, who we are in every moment should be. I feel I would want to be in that oneness energy. And yet, it's something that I feel many of us maybe have never heard about before, at
Mhm.
least, in the way that you share it. And so it really connected a lot of the dots. I felt like, oh, talk about a safe container, like feeling that oneness energy and now recognizing and understanding how it's so important. And again, I feel like you've mentioned, I believe, but it's this idea that it's our birthright, that
Mhm.
is a frequency that we are in, and everybody has the ability and the birthright. They have, I even would go as far as to say the responsibility to
Yeah.
connect in with that frequency to help them live their life path, or to feel that there's, that support and the guidance that can come through. Um, do you find that for those students of yours that are just first hearing about oneness energy, is it something that's kind of easy, or do some people struggle getting into that vibration, just initially?
Yeah. It's interesting because I believe that it's everybody's, like, you're right, your birthright. It's your soul's frequency. So you can't look at anybody and say, "Oh, you're not going to get into oneness
Right.
energy." It's something that everybody, it is our soul's frequency. You have to go back to what the soul is. The soul is energetic vibration, which is oneness, and it is thought consciousness, the thought consciousness of the intuition. And so, anybody listening who's like, oh, I tried it, but I can't get into it. Oh, and what if I never get into it? That's your egoic mind talking, right?
Mhm.
There are some folks, you have children, I have children. We know what it's like to be a busy mom, you know, working 50 plus hours a week, trying to run over to painting practice, to, you know, all of these different extracurricular activities, managing doctor's bills and doctor's appointments, and just a household, right?
Right.
It's insanity in this lifetime right here, right now.
Yes.
You know, all these experts are like, just do this and just do that. There's no way to fit it all in, right? There's no way.
No way.
So, right. And so people are coming into this at different points of their life, right? Some people are retired and they're relaxed and their energy is just different vibrational frequency, maybe more mellow than some of us who are managing it all, where there's a little bit more chaos, right? Of the
Mhm.
ups and the down vibration. So, can it take just a little bit longer to get into it? Sure. Which is why in my book, I walk people through it over the series of 4 weeks. The
Mhm.
book really isn't to be like open and closed, read within a day. It's
Right.
meant to be digested over the course of 12 weeks, because I walk you through every step of really marinating in the energy and really coming into oneness. And then really coming into communication with your angels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And that's the part that I recently started. So I think I'm on week 3, maybe getting ready to start into week 4. And
Yay.
so, I mean, technically I'm at the beginning, but I feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much richness
Mhm.
already. And like I mentioned before, a lot of clicks of aha moments that just deepen because as you know, and you know, our audience, I'm sure knows once you start that communication with your angels, it kind of snowballs. At least I find
Yeah.
that the conversation deepens and it opens up that connection for more and more of that
Mhm.
relationship. So it's been really quite lovely, and I've just I just actually was reading the aspect about finding your joy, and I
Mhm.
loved what you were sharing about finding joy, and I thought to myself, I wonder what brings Julie joy.
Oh, you're so sweet. You know what? It's just little things a lot of times, right? Like, long time ago, I went to a friend healer's house, and she had this ginger grater, where you could grate fresh ginger and then put it into a cup of warm water with a little bit of squeezed lemon. That just brings me so much joy. I have a raspberry smoothie that I love to make with just frozen raspberries, like a banana or half a banana, and then I just put water in there, and it's just so delicious.
Mm,
Little things like that, taking a bath, just getting to get in the bath with some Epsom salts and just fully um, feel like the water pressure like just come into my body, and the warmth of the water surrounding my body. Um, Getting to go to the beach and feel the
mhm,
sand on my toes, and just like going into the water, getting to do my sessions with people and work with people. I would say as a healer, I'm a teacher,
mhm,
big teacher. I feel like that's what I've been called to do, and so getting into those moments with my members, in my membership, and just seeing their aha moments and seeing their transformations, and getting emails, right? Like,
right.
I I get so much joy because I get to offer as much as I can at a very low price, for as much as I kind of give away in different programs,
Mhm,
and people coming back and saying, "Oh my gosh, that was like $50,000 worth of stuff or $20,000 worth of stuff, and I've taken these other courses and I just got tons of value, and you offer so much more than I've ever seen." That brings me so much joy. I had one woman last week, and this isn't typical, but just kind of people's transformations and seeing their transformations is typical. But she said, Julie, I don't think that you understand, but when I started this journey, I was having a lot of suicidal thoughts, and my friend actually bought me the membership. And she said, I was really contemplating taking my life. And I don't believe that it was me. I believe that it's the angels, that the work just kind of pours through me, and I give all the glory to the other side. Um, but seeing people have huge transformations and just wanting to be here and seeing their purpose,
Mhm.
oh my goodness, there's nothing better than that.
Wow. Oh my goodness. No, not at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
That's so beautiful. It's incredible. And what's coming to me is just like the honoring and gratitude for all the work that you've done, your own inner work to be able to step into that space or, because there's always little our own struggles we go through before we step into a space that we're really putting ourselves out there. But in all of that is the aspect that you're holding a vibration as a pure channel to let God speak through you. Let the messages from angels and their guides come through. And it is a very rewarding and sacred feeling to feel like, wow, look at the lives that you've changed and been able to help and assist. And really, it's helping them connect in, like you've mentioned at the beginning, with their oneness, with the truth, and that reminder, because our mind gets in the way sometimes, that ego
yeah,
mind.
yes,
Yeah, we try and make it sometimes so much more challenging than what it should be. And it reminds me of this part in your book when I actually just read this line and I thought, this is perfect for me for today. But it was the part about not overdoing it,
mhm,
that we can step into these moments of joy and that we need rest, we need care, the human body needs to be taken care of. And so there's so many little treasures, little gems of knowledge and wisdom that you share in this book. And as I read it, I feel the love come through and I'm like, oh my gosh, she is amazing. And you have an incredible gift and an incredible relationship with spirit to let these light codes flow through. So I encourage anybody, if they haven't already picked up your book, to go pick it up. I mean, I found my copy as an ebook,
oh
but I know you
nice,
have
yeah.
the audio and in print. And where can you share with everybody a little bit about it, like where they can find it?
Yeah. So, when I was creating the book, I just want to share this real quick. A lot of people were like, just create two separate things. You have enough here for a separate workbook and a book. And I'm like, no, I am so ADHD. Whenever I need to get a workbook, I never go to get the workbook. So I just want to include it all together. So this is a full book and workbook all in one. And a lot of people who have gotten it on Audible or Kindle end up going back and saying, I got the print version because I just wanted to be able to write in the book and do all of the exercises as I went along. Because what I'm leading you on a journey to is knowing everybody who's on your spirit team and how they're working with you. That's angels, guides, and loved ones. So by the end of the book, you're writing down, okay, here's exactly who's on my spirit team and exactly how they're working with me, and the signs that they're showing me, so that it makes it easy in your day to day life to go, oh, I saw the two cardinals. I know that that's grandma, and my dad. And okay, guys, what do you want me to know? Or, okay, I was just in the car and I heard this song. I know that's my grandpa coming through. Grandpa Sam, what do you want me to know?
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it just really fun, but it's all on Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, that you can pick up.
Oh, wonderful. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. I was even thinking this morning, I'm like, okay, this was really nice to like get my toes wet with your book, but I am going to get a physical copy.
Yay!
So yeah, yeah. That day that I was like, I want to start right now. I don't want to wait or go to the store. I was like, right now, I'm gonna start.
You're
So
so
that's
sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there was something else that came to me what you were just sharing. Okay, so we talked about joy because that was just a thought that I had. And what I love about your book is it's so personable. I mean, it feels like you're just talking with a best friend. And I'm like, oh, if she was here right now, what would I ask her? And I just lit up. I was smiling when you were sharing the things that bring you joy because I could really feel it. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. I'll have a raspberry smoothie. Yes, please.
Yeah.
So this part in the workbook part, like the portion, I noticed the chart, and you're right, you really can't write on a chart on an ebook. But I saw the chart, and it's like the little things that bring you joy each day, and then what can bring you joy in a week and a month and a year to
Yeah.
help us find that. I feel when I was reading it, the message that came to me personally was like, okay, this can help you find the light within. It can remind you who you are, light up your soul, and like really shift your energy into that space because sometimes we find we're kind of in a funk
Yeah.
or we might feel disconnected, however that might, resonate with somebody. But for me, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm out of alignment. I can tell I'm not in that oneness right now. And so that joy is like a little catapult that can jump you
Mm.
into the oneness vibration. Um, and that's kind of as far as I've got right now. But I
Yeah.
wanted to, I want to go to this aspect that really at the beginning just like lit me up. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so important. Why aren't more people talking about this? And it's about your team, your
Mhm.
spirit team, and you mentioned spirit team and spirit, but also the team in the physical. And I
Mhm.
was like, ooh, this is juicy. This is good. How many of us overlook the importance of a team in the physical? So I
Yeah,
was wondering if you could just share a little bit about that, the concept and the
definitely.
aspects.
Yeah, thank you, Amy. So, yeah, we all have a spirit team on the other side made up of God energy, angels, guides, and loved ones, and they're always there to support us, right? But their way of communicating with us is so much different than the way that we communicate with one another here in the physical realm. And so we go about our day, our weeks, our months, our year, and we flow through different things, a fight with a friend, a conversation we need to have with a parent or a family member, something going on with our partner, something happening with our child. And we need an outlet to be able to work through our own feelings and emotions without trying to dim them, right? Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us, where we're at in society, there's two things that happen that really dim your joy. And those two things are following the shoulds in life, following society standards. And when we do that, we're looking to what society says that should bring us joy, not ourselves. So we end up building up these lives, getting into our 30s and 40s and being like, wait a second, this isn't what I thought this was going to be. And then you have to do this whole rediscovery of yourself and who you truly are as a soul, why your soul is here. And part of, what Archangel Gabriel talks about is half of your purpose is your own joy. Like, you're not going to make headway or traction in life on anything if you're not feeding yourself joy and feeling joy yourself. The other thing that's happening within our society is we are numbing out in every way, shape, and form. That could be with medications, it could be with different just distractions, like kind of scrolling on our phone or watching TV or gaming, instead of being present in our life. And if you looked at a chart and the ups and downs that we feel in our everyday, you have to feel lows in order to be able to feel the highs, right? And I'm not telling
Right.
anybody to go off of any medication whatsoever, but we're having a hard time really feeling our feelings. and our
Yeah.
emotions as a society and understanding what that really looks like. And in order to live an emotionally, mentally, spiritually healthy life, like we can't do this all on our own. I can't do this all on my own. You can't do this all on your own. I've gotten the privilege of getting to work with CEOs and presidents and some royalty and some just celebrities, different folks in all realms of life that we hold on these pedestals, right?
Right.
And you really get into their energy, and they're just like everyone else. Like they have the same fears that you do, they have the same challenges that you do. Their kids are going through medical complications or different things just like ours are. And you start to realize that on a very profound level, no soul is different. Like every soul is equal. Um,
Hmm.
and you feel that in God, universe's, source's eyes. And so, how do you allow yourself as a individual human being to live a healthy life emotionally, um, spiritually, mentally? You have to have an earthbound spirit team. You have to have people surrounding you who are safe for you because a lot of us as empaths, that's the key thing that I will bring my clients back to. Empaths were made to feel not safe as children. And so when you start to surround yourself with safe people, your partner, your kids, you create safe relationships with them. You create safe relationships with your friends. You create safe relationships with your coworkers. Um, you start to live in a completely different way and you truly feel supported because you know that those other people are really there to support you and hold you up. It's also having an earthbound spirit team, I call it, having a counselor that you go see once a week,
Yes.
or a psychiatrist or a therapist, or maybe it's not once a week, maybe it's twice a month. I keep that as a regular appointment on the books because it helps me sort out my mental laundry. um, it's having ways to work the energy out of our physical body, and that doesn't have to mean going to the gym. A lot of people, we all love yoga, but a lot of people with acid reflux have a hard time with yoga.
Yeah.
It could be walking outside with some girlfriends, you know, like it doesn't have to be anything strenuous. I love lifting weights in the gym. That's an outlet for me. Um,
Wow.
so there's all these different things and tools that you can collect and create really safe, healthy relationships and have different people who are there to support you so that um, you just feel safe, alive, free to feel your feelings, free to be your true authentic self, and free to really feel the highs and lows and move through life because that's what's true to us and that's what brings us joy.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing all of that. I'm just taking it in and my head for those those of you that are listening, my head's like bobbing up and down like, yes, yes. Here we go. And especially the part about going to the gym with the weights, because my husband and our two children love to go lift the weights. And I'm like, I'll do the treadmill. I'm like, I'll be over here in this section. I found a really cool, like treadmill kind of thing. I don't even know what you call it, but there's this new, I don't even know what you call it. There's this new device that you kind of do a treadmill movement on. And I'm like, that works really good for me. So there I am.
Yes, yes, whatever works for you and it feels good for you, that's what the way you want to go.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And there's so much to life. You mentioned about being empathic, and this past week has been a big week in our family, and I've had a lot of family in town, and I'm like recognizing that, yeah, I'm really, I guess, sensitive. I'm
Mhm.
empathic, and I feel like I've been really sensitive and aware of the emotions of my family and the collective, and even the deepening emotion of myself. And that is something that partners very well with communicating with spirit.
Mhm.
So when you're mentioning some of us are feeling really, like disconnected from the emotional or kind of like numbing out, I could see where that could lead to some levels of confusion because there's this disconnection or some form of separation that can happen there from connecting in with your energy and then being able to be in that fluid communication with your guides and angels. So you share so many exercises and little aspects, little, again, I call them little gems of wisdom in your book about these ways in which we can take little baby steps and get closer and closer back into alignment and in that oneness energy. So, yeah, I feel like I'm just talking because I get so excited about everything. And I'm really happy that you're here. Is there anything that's been coming through recently for your students, your clients, or the collective that you feel would be like a really nice message to share?
Yeah, I'm feeling called to kind of go deeper into that empath area
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. Brene Brown's research shows that there's 87 different emotions. The angels say that there's like thousands upon thousands, plus emotions, but they've identified 87. And they've surveyed a massive population. And of that survey, the average was people can tap into only three emotions.
Wow.
And it really goes to show that empaths, I think we think as empaths, well, everybody's empathic, everybody's like I am. They're not. It really is a superpower that you have. And for a lot of empaths, this is what we've been talking about in the angel membership lately. When you were a child, did you feel, Amy, almost kind of like made to be a little bit different or
Oh,
like
yeah.
yeah, because
Absolutely.
when I'm talking to most empaths, that's the one thing that we all share in common. We all felt different, right? Or we were all made to be a little bit different, and we were all told different things that hindered and took away our empathic ability, like eat everything on your plate, or boys don't cry, toughen up, you can't control everything, that's not your problem. All of these different the list goes on, right? You could probably have like a
Mm-hmm.
4-page document of different things that we were all told.
Right.
um all of that, as children, we did not know what to do with as little kids. And so we had to create a safe space for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did was try and fit in, try and people please.
Mm-hmm.
We had different outlets of little mini addictions here and there, or different vices that made us feel comfort and love because we weren't feeling unconditional love for exactly who we were as young people. Um, I know my addiction was like a food, right? Turning to
Mm-hmm.
food for comfort whenever I could. What's really being asked of us right now, and we're kind of coming into like a 3-year energetic window with this, is for all of us to recognize the ways in which, as children, we felt unsafe
Mm-hmm.
because we weren't allowed to be freely ourselves. And because of that, we didn't trust ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
didn't trust our own intuition, didn't trust our own energy. And once we recognize how we felt unsafe in our childhoods, realizing and tracking that to our adulthood, and where we are still using some of those same coping mechanisms, where we have some of those same triggers of not feeling safe, and looking at this, and some of that's spiritual work, some of that's work with a counselor or therapist, but then looking at how we can undo those systems within us and really create safe relationships, safe spaces within ourselves, and within our lives. And as we do that, what the angels say is that we will rebuild completely new lives, that are us living in everyday joy, that are us having ease in every day, that are the lives that we truly want to be living and really feel good living. And that's really where spirit is kind of taking us as a collective right now.
Wow. Yes. Oh my gosh. Of course, it's really resonating, and everything that just came through that you've shared with us, I'm processing. So I'm like, oh yeah, I had a conversation within my mind. So with myself, I
Yes.
had a conversation a few days ago that really pulls in some of this information and these aspects that you're sharing. And this word deconstruction has been coming through for me. And I've even then, of course, seen it in the physical, like here and there popping up. But it started back in April when I was having all these flashbacks of moments of my childhood. And I was hearing deconstruction, like taking apart
Yeah.
the way that it's been built, the structure of how life has to be and who I'm supposed to be. Everything you're saying, like anything that would take away a little bit of our own autonomy to
Mhm.
fit in. And so, wow, has it been interesting? I'll just call the vibration. The whole experience sure has felt quite different, really unique to find this deconstruction. So, everything just pulling apart so that it can be reset and built up again. And I definitely think that having a beautiful, strong, supportive support team in the physical is very important for us, no matter who we are, how old we are, like what we've been through. We're always going through something else. So I love that you speak to that, because sometimes I think people feel like, oh no, they've got it all together. What do they need a therapist for? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
are you kidding? Going back to how you mentioned we're all equal, everybody could really benefit from a therapist, a support team of friends,
Oh, yeah.
your doctors, all of it. Yes.
Yes, 100%. And I'm just looking for that page in the book where I talk about, your earthbound spirit team, because I know that I list out all the
You
different,
do.
ones that you could. Here it is. So, your joys are part of your earthbound spirit team. Your partner or spouse, your parents, siblings, friends, family, counselor, traditional doctors, spiritual healers. I even include my accountant, right? Because like he makes
Yes.
me feel safe, like everything's in track for the business. Acupuncturist, aromatherapy, astrologist, Ayurveda, my babysitter that I have on call, right? Like,
Oh,
that you could just, like, call them and get out for a movie night or a date night whenever you need to. Breath work, craniosacral, um, energy healers, dermatologists, like, anything that you could think of could be considered part of your earthbound spirit team, even a podcast like yours.
yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you for reading those out, because some of them it's like, oh, that's such a creative thought. But then it's like, yeah, and it's so important. So definitely. And I'm really glad that you had the book right there to read it out, because I remember reading through the list. I'm like, wow, oh my gosh, why didn't I ever think of it like that before? But yes, a babysitter, that's important. All of us
Mhm.
mamas know we need a little bit of alone time or date night and personal care days. So, absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
hmm Well, thank you so much for sharing with us about your book today. I highly encourage everybody to go check it out, and also to check out your podcast. So, if you want to share with us, like, where can everybody find and connect in with you?
Sure, absolutely. So if you want to listen to the podcast, it's called Angels and Awakening. And the book is called Angels and Awakening as well, a guide to raise your vibration and hear your angels. And the book is on Amazon, or you can also find it on my website, theangelmedium.com.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you're also on Instagram, which is kind of where we connected, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm over at Angel Podcast.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yes. And everybody check it out. You have an amazing Instagram page, so full of inspiration. If I, like right now, I just open Instagram and there's your beautiful smile, and I'm like, oh, what a lovely way to start the day.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, my only Instagram account is at Angel Podcast. If you follow any other healers, you probably know there's a lot of scammers right now. There's about like 5 new ones that pop up a week that are just impersonation accounts.
Mhm.
So, no healer is ever going to reach out to you or DM you. I always respond to your DMs if you DM me at Angel Podcast, but the website is always a great way to go to.
Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. Well, thank you so much. And I want to encourage everybody again to just find that space within for reaching for joy. If you're looking for tools, techniques, and support, Julie's amazing. She has so much to share. And thank you so much, Julie, for being on the Spirit and Soul Healing podcast.
Oh, thank you so much, Amy, for all of the work that you're doing in the world and the blessing of getting to be here with you today.
Thank you.